Elon Musk in hot water as one of his most recent tweets has him warring with the SEC yet again. Back at it, the Tesla CEO tweeting today, Tesla stock price is too high.
Tesla CEO Elon Musk and his employees defying Alameda County's shelter-in-place order. Musk sued the county, even challenging it to arrest him instead of his employees.
And I think it does call into a little bit of question what's going on with him.
To those who support the quick reopening of America, Musk is a, quote, legend and a patriot. To others seemingly more concerned about workers' health, he is, quote, another selfish billionaire.
So Elon Musk has been causing a lot of controversy in the news lately because he's not a fan of having to obey the stay-at-home order in the state of California because for a while he was not able to produce electric vehicles. So today I'll be going over some of the tweets that have been causing all this controversy. I'll also talk about the first quarter earnings of 2020. And lastly, I'll give my opinion as to what I think about this whole situation. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to subscribe down below to make sure you stay notified of any stock market or Tesla related news updates. And also, if you like this type of content, go ahead and give it a thumbs up because it really helps support the channel. For the past month and a half, Elon Musk has been voicing his disliking of the stay-at-home order via Twitter. Like on April 28th, he started by saying, "Free America now." And then later on that day, he said, "Yes, reopen with care and appropriate protection, but don't put everyone under the de facto house arrest." These tweets goes to show that he's not happy about the stay-at-home order. He's kind of seeing it from the perspective that the government's trying to take his rights away and his freedom, but personally, I think that's wrong. They're just trying to do what's best for us and trying to keep the spread of the disease that is going around right now. That's just pretty much it. And then on May 1st, he definitely goes all out and tweets saying, "Tesla stock price is too high in my opinion." This definitely caused the stock price to dip immediately. It dropped as much as 12% that day. And he's already had problems with the SEC in the past when he tweeted that he would take the company private, which also affected the stock price. It'll be interesting to see if he's going to have to pay for the consequences of this or if he's just going to get a fine like he did last time and move on. Although I think that he's right that the stock price is too expensive at the moment. I think he needs to be careful because he kind of needs to stay being the CEO of the company because he's the one that's been able to take it to where the company is now. And by him being kind of irresponsible, in my opinion, by tweeting these kinds of things and causing the stock price to move, I think he's kind of put himself in a bad position. So hopefully he can, keep things quiet. He's been doing good for quite a while, but he just happened to do it again this time. Then also later on May 1st, he said, "Now give people back their freedom." Then on May 9th, Tesla is filing a lawsuit against Alameda County immediately. The unelected and ignorant interim health officer of Alameda is acting contrary to the governor, the president, our constitutional freedoms, and just plain common sense. Frankly, this is the final straw. Tesla will now move its headquarters and future programs to Texas, Nevada immediately. If we were to retain Fremont manufacturing activity at all, it will be dependent on how Tesla is treated in the future. Tesla is the last car maker left in California. So he went as far as threatening to move to his facility to a different state just because California is not letting him manufacture at the time being. But then it gets better because on May 11th, Elon said, "Tesla is restarting production today against Alameda County rules. I will be on the line with everyone else. If anyone is arrested, I ask that it only be me." So he's even willing to go to jail just to get his cars going again. And then on May 17th, he tweeted, "Take the red pill," which some people took it as him supporting the Republican Party, as Trump has also been an advocate for opening up Tesla again. As Trump has tweeted, "California should let Tesla and Elon Musk open on the plant now. It can be done fast and safely." And then of course, Elon's gonna appreciate that, so he kindly said thank you. So as you can see, Elon Musk is definitely not scared to step up going up against the California government. He's super rich, so I think that has a little bit to do with his confidence to be able to talk like that. And I get it, Elon Musk is just trying to run his company because there's definitely a lot of demand for their cars, as I'm going to show you in their Q1 earnings report. In my opinion, they just need to be safe about that, how they go about minimizing the risk of the spread of this disease as they open up and whatnot. From my understanding, it seems like they're just required to have some sort of safety protocol documenting how they're going to go about being safe to be able to minimize risk. As far as it goes for Elon going to jail, I don't think that's going to happen. If anything, the Tesla Fremont factory already started production, although it is at a 30% capacity just to ensure the safety of everybody else that is going back to work. But nonetheless, they were able to start back up production. And in regards to his threats to move to Texas, that state would definitely benefit from having Elon Musk build another gigafactory out there. Just think of all the jobs that it would create. And not to mention that this is a red state, and by Elon Musk tweeting that to take the red pill, it definitely attracted Texas as well as other notable Republicans. But besides that, Tesla as a company had a pretty good first quarter of 2020, even with that pandemic and all that. I'll just be highlighting some of the highlights from their first quarter 2020 earnings presentation, and then go over the basic numbers like the revenue and the net profit, and just kind of where their outlook is for the rest of the year and the following years. So as far as cash goes, they had about a 1.8 billion increase in cash and cash equivalents in first quarter, up to now 8.1 billion. So basically they have a nice amount of cash reserves that they can use and be able to kind of maneuver through the pandemic that we're going through. As far as profitability goes, 283 million GAAP operating income, and then 4.7% operating margin in quarter one, which is nice. Then it says that gross margin at Giga Shanghai approaching level of US made Model 3. So they're starting to ramp up out there in Shanghai, and looking like they're starting to mirror how much they're producing out here in the US. And then as far as operations go, Model Y deliveries began significantly ahead of schedule. Then they also increased the Model S range to 391 miles with no increase in battery capacity, so that's pretty good. And then they reached production of 1,000 solar roofs in a single week in this first quarter of 2020. So we can't forget about their side businesses that they have, like the solar roof business, which is it seems like it's starting to grow. So for revenue in the fourth quarter of 2019, Tesla made a little over $7 billion in revenue, but in the first quarter of 2020, only made $5.9 billion in revenue. That's a 19% decline quarter over quarter. But if we look at year over year, that's a 32% jump of revenue, which is amazing growth. And then if we look at the profits, was also kind of the same. There was an 11% decline in profits quarter over quarter, but year over year, once again, profits grew by a crazy 118%. That's more than double the profits they had in the first quarter last year, which, like I already said, is amazing growth. Now, to summarize these numbers, in the first quarter, they reached their highest level of revenue for a seasonally slower first quarter, as their total revenue grew by 32% year over year. Sequentially, the revenue was mainly impacted by the lower deliveries, driven primarily by limitations in their ability to deliver vehicles towards the end of the quarter. So basically saying that if it wasn't because they weren't able to deliver vehicles because of what's going on right now, they probably would have gotten higher numbers of what they originally reported. In terms of profitability, their automotive gross margin of 25.5% as well as a total gross margin of 20.6% both reached their highest levels in 18 months. And then as far as cash goes, like I already mentioned, their quarter in cash and cash equivalents increased by 1.8 billion quarter over quarter to a total of 8.1 billion, mainly driven by the recent capital raise of $2.3 billion. And then as far as their outlook goes, they emphasized that it was difficult to predict how quickly vehicle manufacturing and its global supply chain will return to its prior levels due to the wide range of potential outcomes. Near-term guidance of net income and free cash flow would be likely inaccurate, so they would just come back to it in the second quarter. As far as volume goes of what they think they can produce for the rest of the year, they said that they have the capacity installed to exceed 500,000 vehicles delivered this year. That's delivered. Despite announced production interruptions for U.S. factories, it remains uncertain how quickly we and our suppliers will be able to ramp production after resuming operations. But they're coordinating closely with each supplier and the associated government. As far as cash flow goes, they say that they're committed to continue to invest their money into their products to have some sort of long-term capacity expansion plans as they have sufficient liquidity. So with those 8.1 billion, they can continue to invest in the future of the company. As far as profit goes, they believe that they can reach industry-leading operating margins and profitability with capacity expansion and localization plans that are on their way. And lastly, their products, they expect that production for both the Model Y in Fremont and the Model 3 in Shanghai will continue to ramp up gradually through Q2. They're continuing to build capacity for the Model Y in the Berlin factory and the Shanghai factory to remain on track to start deliveries in both locations by 2021. And they also gave a quick mention that they decided to push the Tesla semi-deliveries back to 2021 just because of all the uncertainty that's going on right now. Based on the numbers that reported, they're even having record years even during this slow season of their business. And not to mention their outlook, which seems to be pretty positive as far as them being able to deliver 500,000 vehicles this year. They also have other factories that they're starting to ramp up and produce. The one in Shanghai, there's one in Berlin that's being under construction, and we'll see if they end up constructing a factory down in Texas. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you think about Tesla and Elon, if he's a good CEO and if it's a good idea to be invested in a company where the CEO can be so volatile and can affect the stock price of the company. I'll be sure to be making more Tesla videos and Elon Musk videos, so make sure to subscribe down below and hit the thumbs up button. Also, feel free to share the channel with somebody that likes to build wealth or is considering starting to build wealth as I talk about investing in overall wealth building. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.